You want to make sure that you're avoiding the dryness because the dryness isn't good. Any excessive heat, you want to avoid that. And improper handling. And I mentioned earlier how my dog stepped on my head this morning. That was considered improper handling. And anything that's going to cause your split ends, breakage, and prevent lift retention, because those things it's going to grow, but you're going to have split ends and breakage, and it's going to look like it's not growing. And eventually you're going to have to get it trimmed off, and you're going to feel like you're having to start from scratch. So prevent all of the breakage on the ends. And, we have products that are really awesome to strengthen the hair, reduce those split ends and breakage. Our leave-in conditioner is awesome, as well as our curl cream, which also helps a lot with that split end and breakage. And you want to make sure that you're addressing any scalp issues that you may have. So when your pores get clogged, you have inflammation, you're getting your poor nourished scalp can start to grow slower, right? So you're not getting the nourishment that the follicles need, as we mentioned earlier about your blood flow, the nutrients in your blood flow. So actually what you're eating goes into your blood flow and then feeds your follicles again. So it's like a garden. And if anyone gardens, you want to make sure you're fertilizing and feeding the garden. And your nutritional status matters too. So if you're deficient in your proteins and your vitamins, biotin and vitamin D are critical. But other minerals like iron and zinc are going to be also super important to make sure your hair stays strong. So when you're deficient in your nutrients, your hair is going to be weaker. It's obviously going to break. It's not going to be able to withstand ponytails and dry weather and things like that. And sometimes we see a lot of changes in our hair during these, like even heat, when you're out in the sun in the summertime, like you may have damage after a summer break because you aren't giving yourself the right nutrients to make sure that your hair was strong against all those UV rays. Any underlying health conditions. So anytime you see any hormonal imbalances, thyroid issues, PCOS, menopause, and a lot of women start to see hair loss after they deliver a baby. So anything hormonal can cause hair loss. And this isn't just for the ladies, it's also men. So when you start to see your testosterone levels going down, and you may not know it's happening, but you have less energy, you're seeing hair loss, go get your T checked out, your testosterone. And then some of that can also help with your hair growth as well. And an improper hair care routine. So make sure you're protecting that hair at night. Make sure you're not pulling and yanking your hair and putting it in tight styles consistently. And then genetics can play some into this. This can be debatable, but your genetic makeup will affect the texture of your hair, obviously. So your texture of your hair is going to determine how you maintain it. And it may be harder or easier for certain styles and make it difficult for you to maintain healthy hair. Strategy obviously is focusing on scalp health. We want to make sure that you're cleaning regularly using gentle shampoos. Every now and then, I recommend using a clarifying shampoo if you're a heavy product user, because you want to make sure your hair is getting a deep clean. If it's not, your products are going to still sit on your hair and never fully get clean, and that's going to slow your hair growth down. You want to make sure you're exfoliating your scalp at least once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, and then putting all the right products on the scalp. Make sure your hair stays moisturized, protected, you're trimming regularly, and anything that's going to strengthen the hair, from diet to how you're styling it. And then, of course, support your hair with the right nutrients through a good, balanced diet. And then I'm always a proponent of a massage. So your massages obviously are going to improve blood flow to the follicles, which I have spoken about many, many times, because that is critical to how you feed the follicles in your scalp to make sure that it's growing. And obviously there's also other ways to think about growth. There's herbal things, rosemary. We use a lot of nettle. You can use castor oil. And then you want to really avoid over manipulating your hair.